Hi there, everybody. Today we are going to be working on setting up our tablet for Gimp. I was asked this question quite a few times, what my settings were for inside of Gimp with my Wacom Intuos tablet, and I just figured that I'd come and show you guys a little bit how I set it up and stuff like that. Your graphics tablet is what you use, for drawing and stuff and getting stuff to look very precise. Tablets are very, very useful, and I really love mine. Mine didn't cost that much. I think I only paid like $100 for mine. There's some other brands out there that you could get that's probably a little bit cheaper than this one. I know Wacom's got different tablets than this one now. I bought this tablet maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. And I know they came out with a new line of these smaller tablets. So let's go ahead and get started in here. I'm just going to go ahead and show you how tablet works. You can get precise lines going on here. I'm also going to show you guys, I don't know if this is necessarily a fix, but this is how I fixed it. Before, when I was drawing, or even with my mouse, like I'd try to draw a straight line and I'd get all these little squigglies in the straight line just like that, and I fixed that. I figured out a fix for that, just playing around inside of Gimp, and now I could draw nothing but smooth straight lines, and it works very, very well inside of Gimp, and it works just like it does inside of Photoshop. If I come over here to Photoshop, it works just the same now. So, and it's based off pressure sensitivity. This ain't a Photoshop tutorial. I'll just show you guys that I have that turned on. So the lighter I press, the smaller the line is, the harder I press, the larger it is. And I just wanted to do that little comparison because it's the same over here inside of Gimp. So the lighter I press, smaller it is, the harder I press, the bigger it is. So that's just with pressure sensitivity, just like that. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that your Wacom tablet or whatever tablet you have is plugged in before you open up Gimp, because Gimp will not recognize it if you plug your Wacom tablet in with Gimp open. You'll have to close it, file, and then close it, and then you will have to go wherever you have your Gimp and open it back up, and then it will recognize your tablet. Pull it up real quick, maybe. Not sure what happened there. Open it up again. There it goes. I don't know why it didn't open up there for a second there. And let me just go ahead and create a new document real quick. Just make a 1920 by 1080 document. And you see these are the settings with the mouse. And as soon as I hover over this with my pen, you'll see that it changes to my pen settings. Now, there used to be a glitch. I think they probably have the pen settings fixed now, but I'm not sure. But like here, it defaults to the airbrush, and it should default on your paintbrush. And let me add a new layer here. I didn't mean to do that. Give me just 1 second. Control Z that. Go ahead and switch to kind of a, I don't know, like a chalkboard green. Drop that on there. And then let me go ahead and add another new layer. Just like that. And let me switch this to white real quick. And alrighty. So when I hover over with my brush, it should default on your brush. And if it don't, just all you got to do is just come and click the brush that you want it on, and it will remember those settings. And then you will want to come over here to your tool options or wherever you have your tool options, and you'll want to just go ahead and let me scroll down a little bit. I have a setting that's called tablet. I'll show you how to make your own dynamic settings here in just a second. But all these dynamic settings here, you could play with them. You do the dynamics random, turn the dynamics off, and you could go down here. Then there's a pressure opacity. These all work with your pen, but I will show you how I set up the one that I use for my tablet so it works more like how you are in Photoshop. So you just spell things out. Let me go ahead and get rid of that real quick. And once you click on that, your tablet settings will be saved over here. And then all you got to do is when you turn your stylus, it should switch over to your erasers. Now see, this is where the glitch, or I'm guessing it was a glitch, or it just wasn't wrote in the code or something correctly. But it used to not switch over to your eraser. It used to stay, I believe, on your brush. And then you would have to, all you have to do if yours does that is just come over here and click on your eraser, just like that. And you come over here and turn your dynamics. I like having my dynamics on my eraser. I like it to dynamics turned off. That way there's no pressure sensitivity or nothing like that. And I could just come over here with my eraser and erase that at 100% opacity. You could leave it on your tablet settings that you have for your eraser if that's what you want. But I don't like that at all. And then there you go. And then I switched it back over to my pen, and now you'll see that I will have pressure sensitivity. And I'm so glad that I figured out how to fix that, because it was so annoying when I was trying to do a straight line and it would do this kind of stuff. That was so annoying. But I figured out how to do that. But let's go ahead, and if you have a Wacom tablet, or if you have any kind of tablet, they should have some kind of interface like this. I got Photoshop and Blender and Gimp set in here. I don't have Krita on my computer right now, but if I did, I would have Krita, however you pronounce it, I would have that put in here too. Now, if you want to add Gimp to this, all you got to do is just come over here. You should see some kind of application or something like that, some kind of settings inside of your tablet software, and you just click on the plus, and you won't have this Gimp and stuff in here. You'll have to come over to your browser, and on Windows 10, mine's in the program files, Gimp, and then in the bin folder. So if I go to program files, I'll click on Gimp 2, and then come over here and click on bin, and you will find Gimp here. And you just want to click on that and then click open, and it will be added to your applications over here. And as far as the settings on mine, I got this is the Intuos Pen and Touch something. I forget the name of it. What's it called? Sorry. It's called the Intuos Pen and Touch Small. It's a pen tablet, and so I got 4 buttons on the tablet itself, and I went ahead and I modified these 2 buttons on the right hand side. I made it for my shortcut keys that I set for deleting my layers and adding new layers. I just like that because it's better to not click so many buttons And then these keys over here, I haven't set nothing up for these, but these are just set up for Shift and Alt. You guys could go ahead and set these any way that you'd like. All you do is you would click and you come to keystroke if you want to use a keyboard shortcut. And then you just come in here and put your keys like Control Shift Alt E. And then you can name it down here. And let's see, I'll name this to copy visible, just like that, and press OK, and now it's copy visible. And the same for over here, we got the keystroke, so I got Alt delete. The name for this one's delete layer, and press OK. And then this one you just kick, and it's named add layer, just like that, and press OK. As far as the pen, I'm kind of a hard when I use a pencil or a pen or something. I tend to press pretty hard, so I got my settings set for the eraser, for the feel of it, to more firm than soft. And if you go ahead and click to your eraser, and you can press on here, and you'll see the current pressure. And then on the same thing I got for the tip feel, I got it a little bit more firm. That way, because like I said, I press down hard. So, and then on the pen, you can set up your eraser. You could change the eraser. You could change it to whatever you'd like if you don't want an eraser. But I leave that at default, and I leave this top one at default, sorry. Also to right click, and then the bottom one is pan and scroll. But for some reason inside of Gimp, at least on my style list, the top one is the pan and scroll, and the bottom one is the right click. I've tried switching these around and it don't change. I don't understand why it's like that inside of Gimp. I don't know if it's a glitch between Wacom and Gimp. But they do work, but they're just reversed. I'm not sure if that would happen to you guys, but on mine, that's what happens on mine. And then we'll click over here to the mapping tab. I have the mode set to pen, my screen area to full. You could click a portion or just the monitor, but I just leave it to full. That way I have full control. And the tablet area I switch to full also. That way I have the full area of my tablet to work on. And then the touch options. Now I got my pointer speed turned all the way up. I got it turned up like that because, like I said, I was having that issue with my brush. You could turn this down if you'd like, but I have mine turned up, and I also have pointer acceleration turned up to medium. The rest is at default. You guys could go ahead and play with that and mess around and see, with your pointer speeds and how fast you move them and stuff like that to your liking. Standard gestures, I have this all at default. You could go ahead and come in here and change some of this stuff if you'd like, but I leave this stuff at default. I don't never do any of this on my tablet anyways. On-screen controls, I don't have none of this stuff set up either. This is all at default. You guys can go ahead and change this. This is for the, I think, little pop-up that pops up for like panels and stuff like that. They got the Photoshop and Photoshop drawing, and there's a radio menu and stuff like that. Some programs have this and some programs don't, so I don't even mess with this right here. And let's see, so went through all this stuff. You change your modifiers, like I said. You could change these to on-screen controls. Like you could click this and make this the radio menu, but Gimp don't have that, so you could change. I wouldn't even mess with any of this, or at least not me. You guys can go ahead and do whatever you want. You could also go ahead and default these to scroll up and scroll down if you'd like to, or zoom in and zoom out. I'm not too sure if these work, but let's go ahead and try that out. I'll put this as zoom out and I'll put this one as zoom in, and then come over here and let's come in here. See, it don't work on Gimp. You'd have to change those if you want these to be zoom in and zoom out. You'll have to change those to what Gimp's default shortcuts are, which is the minus key to zoom out and the plus key to zoom in inside of Gimp. So if you wanted to go ahead and change those for Gimp, let's go ahead and do that real quick. So we'll go to keystroke, and we will, go ahead and clear this, and we will put this to the minus. And actually, nope, this one will clear. This one was the top one, I believe, so we'll put this to the plus, and we will name this to zoom in. Just like that, and we'll click OK. And this one, we will do the same keystroke, and we will put this to minus, and we will name this to zoom out. Spelled that crazy wrong, but that's okay. And now when we come over here to Blender, we'll have zoom in and zoom out. Now, if you guys are on a laptop, you guys will have to come over, because on the US keyboards, the plus key, where the numbers are up top on your laptop, it defaults plus and minus, and the default one, equals. So it's plus and the equal sign on one key. So you will have to, I don't remember the shortcut for it, but it won't work inside of Gimp. You'll have to go into Edit, and then go to Keyboard Shortcuts, and you will have to go to Zoom In right here, and you will have to go ahead and change your keyboard shortcut. You can press Control plus or Control whatever you want. That's just a suggestion. And then you can come back over here into Wacom, and you can go ahead and put whatever keyboard shortcuts you put inside of Gimp for zoom in, and make that your keyboard shortcut over here. And then that way you will have zooming and zoom out capabilities on your pen. And then if I use the little buttons that's on the stylus itself, I could pan around, and I could right click. And I always normally have my navigation window open when I'm using my pen to draw and stuff, just to set things up. Now let's go ahead and talk about that fix that I did before, when I couldn't get straight lines like this, and when I was drawing I'd get little squigglies like this. It don't matter how straight I tried to draw, they would get bad squigglies. It would get better the bigger I had the brush, but when I had very small brush like this, it would not draw straight lines for nothing, and it wouldn't be smooth. It wouldn't do none of this like this. Like I said, the straight line would look like this. That's how it looked. So how I fixed that was I went into Edit, Preferences, and I went into my input controllers, sorry, and I just came over here and I clicked on the DirectX input. If you guys don't have the DirectX, you just want to click right here and make sure that you click on this, and then you'll want to click this arrow, and it will bring up a pop-up. All you do is just click OK. You don't have to change none of those settings, and the active controller will be over here, and you'll have DirectX, the main mouse wheel, and your main keyboard, and then hit OK. But the problem with mine was that I already had this in here, and how I fixed it was I clicked on the DirectX, and I clicked on here, and I added another one, and then I came over here and I clicked Reset, and it reset everything. And then I went and clicked this back arrow and took that second one that I made. You probably don't have to add that second one, but I did. I'm not sure if it helped at all or not. But anyways, you could go ahead and just try to just reset all these. Now, be warned that this is going to change some of your tool settings and stuff like that, and it's going to change your theme and all that. You're going to have to go through and set up your theme and your tools how you'd like it again. But it don't change your keyboard shortcuts or nothing like that. It just changes the theme back to default and your tools back to default. And also your how big your layers are and stuff like that. You'll have to come back in here to your interface and change all that stuff. I got them set on huge now. You can go ahead and put them on gigantic, however you want, and then you'll have to come in here and change your theme again. And your tool options. The tool options stay the same, except for my pen and my brush and stuff like that. I had to go in there and make those the size that I like to start out when it starts up, and then I just hit save tool options, and then it will change. Let's see, what else did it change? The appearance. I don't like having my rulers on. I don't like showing the layer boundary. So I turned those two off for the normal mode, and I turned it off for full screen mode. And then what else did it change? I think that was all that it changed. But that's all you have to do. It's just a couple quick fixes, couple quick clicks, and it'll be done. But that's how I fixed that. I noticed on Google Plus, I don't know, it was a couple weeks ago, there was another guy that was having the same issue that I had. But I couldn't figure out how to fix it. And then, like I said, I started playing with my tablet today for this tutorial. And I was like, a lot of people was going to say, what's going on with your mouse and how come it's doing that and stuff like that. And I needed to figure out a fix. So I was searching all over Google trying to find a fix and stuff. And I couldn't find nothing. And then finally, I just said, well, let me just try a couple different things. And I went in and I tried that, and I reset those settings and fixed everything back in my Gimp and came, and now I can make nice strokes with my pen. And it looks really good, and it works just like it does in Photoshop. So that was a big issue for me, and it was really annoying and really irritating. And like I said, it even did it with my mouse. But now it no longer does that. So that's a quick tip, quick fix for some of you guys that's having that same problem. So just go ahead and try that out. A disclaimer, that's how it worked on mine. I'm not saying that will work on yours. You guys will just have to try and see if it does work for yours. And if it does, great. I'm glad that I could share that little tip with you. The next thing that I wanted to show was the dynamics. Let's see, do I have dynamics? I have the dynamics opened. There's a bunch of different ones. Here's basic dynamics. Let me go ahead and make a new layer. This one's basic dynamics. And this one, as you can see, it just has, it looks like a fading effect. I think this one just has fade on. I'm not too sure. That's what it looks like to me, though. And you could just go through here and you could play with these. This one's got, looks like opacity. And there's color from gradient. So let's see, confetti does a bunch of this, like a confetti look. Like I said, or you could turn them off if you don't want no pressure sensitivity and you just want to draw just with a full opacity at 100% and no brush dynamics or nothing like that. You do dynamics random. This will make your brush smaller, do the opacity and all that kind of stuff. Fade, tapering. So as you can see, it tapers. Not sure what's going on there, but it was freaking out on me there for a second. All right. And so you guys could go through and play with all these, but these are all here in your brush dynamics, which I'm pretty sure that if you've used Gimp for any length of time, you guys know those were there. But I have mine, I have one set up just for the opacity. Well, at least I thought I did. I'll have to go through and play with that one. And then I got a tablet, and this is the one that I like using. This one messes with my brush dynamics, and this one messes with the opacity, and this one messes with the brush size based on pressure sensitivity. And this is how it works standard in Photoshop, and I really, really like this way. So if I come over here and I click on this to edit the brush, so I got on pressure, I got opacity and size. You guys could make whichever one you want with the flow. You could also do it with the flow if you'd like, but this is more like how it works inside of Photoshop. So I really like that. So I just got the opacity and the size worked. So if you guys want to create a new one, you'll just bring up this window, and if you don't have the brush dynamics pulled up, you just click up here and you can click on Add tab, and you will see the paint dynamics, and you'll just click on this and it will add that window. But now I got it up there a bunch of times, so I'm going to click back on that and close that tab. I'm going to go ahead and close this tab too, and I'm just going to click on the plus to make a new one. And all you want to do is name this. I'm going to name this to I don't know, tablet tablet OP PR for pressure, and underscore FD for fade. I'm going to name that one that. And then we could click on the size opacity, or the pressure for opacity, and the size. I want this pressure, and then I'm going to click on the flow also. And we could go ahead and come in here and go to the, let's see, opacity. You click right here and it will take you to this graph, and you could go ahead and you could change these settings also for your pen if you'd like, for them to start off default. Like for the pressure, we could go ahead and maybe raise that up just a tad bit, and I mean that's for the opacity. And then which other one did we do for the flow? We'll go ahead and we just click and raise that up a little bit too. You click again and you get another point right there, a manipulator point. And I don't really want that like that, but we'll just go ahead and leave that. And then let's see, what else did I do? I did for size too. So I'll just go ahead and maybe move this up just a tad bit also. And we'll come back over here and it's on that setting. Let's go ahead and let's delete this layer and let's add a new layer. And let's go ahead and see how this looks. So this is messing with the flow, the opacity, and the size of the brush. And this is a nice setting, it looks like, to go ahead and play with your flow and your opacity. I don't normally play with the flow too much, but it's good to have it on pressure sensitivity. And that's all you do. And if these settings don't work for you, you could leave these at default, or just come through and just play with them however you would like. You could always make another one if you don't like that setting, or if you do, but you want different settings, you can, like I said, you could just make all kinds of different ones that you'd like. And you just bring up your eraser and you could erase some of this stuff if you like. Flip it back around and goes back to that, and then your dynamics will be saved. And this is mine for my tablet, and this is just doing the pressure and the size, and then this one's got the flow and everything on it. And that's basically all you want to do, and then you can just close this tab, and there it is right there. And then, like I said, if you want to make another one, just go ahead and click the plus sign. You could also duplicate it, and you could also delete it. So if there's something in here that you don't like this one, I don't even know what this one is, so I'm going to delete that. And this Untitled one, I don't know what that one is either, so I'm going to delete that. And there you go. And then you guys could just go ahead and leave the paint dynamics open if you'd like while you're on your tablet. It's easier to see this way, and you guys could go ahead and switch them as much as you'd like. But I'll go ahead and leave this one right here. So we went ahead and we went through how to set up your shortcuts. And if you're on Wacom, it's going to be the same way here, pretty much no matter which tablet you have. They're usually the same. Some of the interfaces, I think, look a little bit nicer. Of course, the more money you spend, the more options you get. But for what I do, this is fine for me. I can't afford a Cintiq. Them Cintiqs are really nice. I wish I could afford one, but I can't afford those. That would make life so much easier. But this is the next best thing when you don't have a lot of money. And like I said, I think Gimp has more tablet support out there. There's one that starts with an H, a brand that starts with an H. I'm not too sure what, I can't think of the name. Hilton? I don't know, something like that. But there's a few other companies out there that make tablets. Now, this is for Windows. I'm not sure how it would be for Linux or for Mac. I heard that you'll have to go to Edit Preferences, and then you could they have this now, input devices. Before, you used to have to get to these in different ways. And I forgot to show this. Now, if your tablet doesn't work, you just come over here into your input devices and make sure that you check and see if they're disabled. Now, I know on Windows, screen is the one that you want to have, or at least that's the one that a lot of people says works. You could play between screen and windowed if you'd like. You could also come over to your pressure, and there's a pressure tab, and I got these turned up on my pressure for the tablet. Also, you could go ahead and try turning them down if you'd like, making them if you go down, it's going to make it more, it's going to make it flow more and more harsh. So positive and then negative, and then so that's how that works. And then I think I have the eraser set a little bit higher too. Tilt, there's none for tilt. I don't think Gimp has where you could rotate the canvas yet. I wish they would get that, because that would be awesome. But anyways, and then I have the curve set to smooth. You could do freehand if you'd like. You could reset your curve and all that stuff. But if it's not working for you, just come over here and make sure that it is not disabled and it's on screen. I heard Linux, for Linux user, I heard Window is the one that works the most for most people. On Mac, I'm not too sure. I haven't used the Mac since I was a little kid. No offense, I've always been a Windows guy, but I'm not too sure for you guys. But you guys could just come in here and play with these, and I know there's a lot of Mac users out there, and I'm sure there's some documentation down somewhere. Just have to Google it and look. But just want to make sure that that's not disabled, and you can play with your pressure settings here if you'd like. And all you'd want to do is just click save. And I'm not sure if you have to restart Gimp or not, but anytime I make any changes inside the preferences and settings, I always close out my Gimp and then reopen it, and that way to make sure that everything works correctly. And I think that is it on how to set up your tablet, your Wacom tablet, inside of Gimp. It should be the same for pretty much any kind of tablet. Maybe their interfaces are different looking than the Wacom interface for this stuff, but they all are pretty much the same. They might just look different, but their purpose is pretty much the same. Just some are more expensive than others. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope I answered the question that quite a few people has asked me in the past, and I hope this helps you guys. Please like and subscribe for tons more tutorials. Thank you and have a great day.